So this is Bernadette's introduction to studying hunger journals. I kept these journals while seeing a psychiatrist. I'd gone to see him because I thought I might be crazy. After my work on memory, shooting 36 pictures a day, and keeping a detailed journal having driven me to the brink.
Tired, hungry, and scared. It's hard to chew leaves. I've taken a quarter of a Valium and had a beer, the power of the imagination. What's the difference between a grown-up and a child? The first day of summer. I don't have to eat this dinner. The salad appeals to me more. The real food seems forbidding. I ate an olive, that's hopeful. Never eaten one before. I guess I'm refusing to eat. All of this seems very clear. I'm not at all confused about it, but I'm wondering what's going to happen. I can see the helpless infant and all its fits.
To use this to find a structure for memory and to do this without remembering, what's the danger? What states of consciousness and patterns of them are new to language? What is the language for them? Answer all upside down. What is the relation of things that stand out, things that seem interesting, like a sentence from the tape, "The food of the mother is better than the food of the fatter father," like poem titles and poem ideas to the rest? To develop moments, to see and feel consciousness like anyone does, as standing out like language does, ideas do.
An entry merely in a notebook or other recording device, maybe something quicker, more attractive, electronic, blue like you. I speak into the tape recorder. I say, "There is a knock at the door. It is you." But before I can answer it, you come in. The door is open. I'm still sitting, turned towards the door. You are seeking me. You can't resist, even though. But there's an element that figures later. In fact, you are asleep now, I'm sure. You're an escapist. You deride the facts, sink into the pillow's currents, and wake refreshed.
Dear David, the wind is blowing hard. I'm afraid I'm reading experiences of awe in childhood. I'm afraid to be like you. I will race to the movies tonight in the rain that's coming. Navigate. I know that this interim confidence, my ally, will soon disappear. I really don't know what will replace it to explore. It's hard to seduce you since I don't want to hide. You appear, hide in words, blow away. We struggle to find a new magic for language like the Indians open in woods and forests in words. Do you see my image, her image? Comedy, a flash. I forget that I'm already smoking, breathing smoke. Smoke on top of mountain where I place us, I can place us. An image, your image, tissue. The green of woods, tissue, drops of water. Waxed, the tissue they wrap plants in. Cut plants, I bought flowers, orange weeds.
Rhonda Fleming of Maine in a white satin slip. I am working for someone. I aim to shoot someone down. No, first I go into where it is dangerous, a dangerous place, the foot of the castle wall. I run, stop, aim, and shoot. I shoot at the footman, the guard. He leans against the castle wall. A volley of our arrows. He leans against the machine. I realize I can't hit him, but I can shoot so fast I'll keep him off guard. He can't hit me then. I run to get inside. This is the mission I've been sent on. I'm working for someone. Another guard at the top of the wall defending the top, his bow and arrow. I must keep running so he can't shoot me. I know I can't shoot him. How did I get into this? How do I smell?
Give me all your money. How sweet can you be? In pennies. That's a 3 bills deal. It aches. I give up. Thank you, Catholic churches, very much. You were right. I love ironing and changing into clean, white clothes. Why can't I say what you mean? You and I and a couple other yous and 7 graven images taken stoned in a tableau with their names and aces in the yard. Since centuries ago, when the moon something and militant state armies selected you, I ate the poisonous berries, same yard, drew the wrong card, pirate ships, and all this time, staying on as a woman in the fine big household the earth supplies. What a region of terror, that space by the fire, like dogs home exhausted from their work in the circus, following masters, sleep, fall down, piss and eat. I used to hate stone. I ate stone. It's far from direct. It's crooked and senseless and just goes on. I'm putting you on. Of course you enjoy it.
As the usual Tuesday comes after the frequent first Monday, in yellow and green September and its neat as can be, makes me a despicable monarch who lives in a tree to be higher and closer to annual rings. He keeps asking questions of me. I'm a ring, yes it is true, and a field, open field. Educated guesses ring better than true. I've lost sight of it all. Crossed town, crossed up. Today I've missed all my appointments. I've gone down in style. Hate constantly fighting and never giving up. I give up. It makes me laugh. I'm almost there.
Dear David, this must be you. I pretended to write words when all I was doing was scribbling. Then I crossed them all out. Just by accident, I happened to accumulate color like heads of hair or even fright wigs, 5 in a circle with an ochre G clef in the center.
The extreme panic and pleasure of putting something together, something that reveals the subject whose dead desires are far from empty. I know this one thing, there is no object. An object must be lost, like 8 straight lines on the page are turning into circles and corners. It's your turn translation. It's my turn, and something is missing from thought when it turns to object, steam heat, thoracic cavity, pension, pensée, thought house, metered ink.
Mark, I'm alone. I use notebook as a sphere 'cause pretension comes in here. Your polar ice caps and my boat is so small and the sea so large was the only line I laughed out loud at. Away and taste of the country, remorse, and the final policy of evil. What is private? Not a dumb police car coming to tell me what to do. Police action. They're giving somebody a ticket for parking on the sidewalk halfways. See how good I can stay within the lines? 'Cause I can see they're eating the ones I'm worried about are eating, and the situation's not good, so the cops came and went. You want to hear about GP, no country, remorse? And I write this here, and I write this here, and I'm in love with you too. An old man, and a sequence of events. Upstairs, downstairs, it could go on forever. Now, again, it's over, and I might as well go on.
I am less lucid than I was before. Can you hear me? I am begging you now, because I have to. Nothing else to do. 2 things. 2 dead things. That's all. So I go on? No way. Not like before either way. Nothing to go on. 1, 2, max. The spider and the door before. Ted, the spider and the door before. Who are the spider and the door before? I fear for my life, and everybody laughs because they have to or have too many dreams. I thought it was what you wanted me to do, and I assure you I am exactly the same as the corpse on the floor.
Of all this, 2 people, a man and a woman in a cemetery erasing a tombstone, and this has nothing to do with this proper name, proper name, proper name, proper name, and proper name beside the 2 others, or in the same space, but with a space between, etc. There's a fire escape hydrant, which offers all different kinds of water fountains, drinking fountains. I drink from one, choke, and am forbidden. I wake up to the sexual etiology or the child we're not quite yet. Shit, this is some mystery novel where the women place on the team. I leave off playing basketball and proper name comes and takes my place, and I come back. I want my place back, but she's the open man and she's the open man around, so I fuck proper name and proper name, who is also proper name at once, and this is the harsh creation of the deprivation of moralism.
You can see why the mind might cave a vacation. Know not that, why and no. How the mind might become attached to the things it reminds itself of, and then give them away or leave them somewhere. What mind? There is no care. Like the watching of the police with binoculars on St. Mark's Place. I have become a master of my care, and mine misses what reminds myself of it, like long trials, tapes, records, even the sweeping up of all the dust, if any. Themes are there, forget them, and just continue on faster. feeling so remorse, like some writers feel so Gloucester or Rapallo. New pens and ink, using all the colors.
Do you want a beer? I couldn't ask for that quilt, the sudden thoughts that might sound dreary or silly later, the papers, like the papers. I will buy blouses. Pleasures is what I mean, and I don't know enough yet to be a doctor or a shaman. The usual, and Stalis Linus must hate women, act your age, but it's not malignant. He has to please them excessively, running back and forth. I worry when I hear I've got no men friends, and with a friend like a woman you don't need, and so on. And Fern says, I can't make people laugh. She says, you sit there sullenly smoking cigarettes.
I must report that I must move more instead of letting my heart beat in just one place. I'm returning from where I've been to fatigue and envy, and I don't want to be there, so I dream all about the endless green balustrade. I just want to see all those inanimate objects that are not someone. They're not the headmaster. My eyes are blue with fatigue and envy. I'm returning from where I've been. He has long hair, and when we land I see him. He's had his hair cut off. He's decked out like Ava Gardner on an airplane wing. Instant change in a blue halo above the head, or maybe constant praise in a blue halo around his head. Like concentration, I was hoping, like an inanimate object, inability to move or speaking as I hear it, to speak or move or leave as in moving. I was hoping that, and then forgot the time, what time it was, as I knew I would want to.
The girl's arm in a description or in a place, in a picture, was leaning, her hand holding something in it, in the direction of the man's knee, separated from his other in a kind of man's posture, like a gesture of deference. You want to see? She is only leaning frozen, as I am, not frozen to you, and then giving up. All I need is light. Are you offering any? You are so sold on dimness, or at the least flashing or changing, altering light, that is, constantly changing lights. What do you have to offer me as I walk slowly around the table? I want something back. I have learned how to demand, and finally, now in the dampness, in the constantly changing light, I finally demand it.
I have to write something now that is out of myself. What's the difference? Who's in charge? I thank you. I think I'm afraid to write to some of my friends because of this volatile moment, this moment with Fern. Some of them, I'm afraid of embarrassing them or telling them more, which is all I have to tell, than they may even want to know about me. So I put an X on the calendar to mark a day in the future when my visible life will be a little more acceptable, not lesbian or gay, yet surely visible enough to let it go unexplained.
I had started. No. I start my making of the unconscious conscious, and even step of the way, each step of the way, I take the rage emerging there and vent it, unattested, spent it on who, what, and the adverbs. There is a point of transition made, unidentified. I study the man attendant upon God, dominations and dominions. I study the possible messenger, learn shorthand. I began all this in April 1972. I began to write continuously, on all vehicles and in all positions. I did not read or understand what I wrote. Gradually, I began to translate some of it back into literature, the literature.